Hello, Jay. Thank you. And to everyone who's watching right now, thank you for being with us and for spending time to learn new things about our businesses, diba? Because we all want to learn new things. And yun, thank you for having me, PB, and of course to Sir Orly, to Miss Mitch, and to everybody, the X-Link. Thank you so much. Ayun. And so today I'll be just discussing about social selling, about what I've learned so far. I admit I'm new to it. We are all new to it because of social media. And I feel like we just have to share the best practices that we have learned so far. So moving on, I just like to give some information about myself to everybody. So me, my background is I am a writer, I'm a producer, and my main sort of bread and butter is in broadcast television. So what I do is I help people craft creative content. And then when I say that, I write scripts and then I produce videos and sometimes I make films, corporate videos as well. And then I write the spiels on TV, mga VTRs na napapanood po natin, yun. So I am associated or affiliated with GMA Network. And then I realized
Okay.
that
Miss Florence,
uh,
still there?
yeah, yes,
Okay. Look at that.
yes,
Yes, sorry, your internet is getting cut at the moment. So we can show
yes,
the rest of the presentation, pero we'll have your camera for a while.
yes. Like, hello,
All right. Okay.
can you hear me?
Sige. Yes, we can hear you. You can turn off your camera for now to save your bandwidth, and then we'll proceed to your presentation.
Okay,
Okay, you can turn. Okay, you can turn off your
okay,
camera for
okay.
now. All right. The camera's in the stop cam below.
Okay. I'm so sorry. Alam niyo naman ang internet sa Pilipinas.
Yes.
Right. So, can you hear me now? Yes. Hello? Can you hear me
Yes,
now?
yes, all clear. All clear, Miss
Hello?
Florence.
Right. So I was saying that I help people craft creative content and build their business today. So for me, I realized that getting a good writer to promote your business is one thing because we really help grow your business by communicating to your customers. So, akala ng ibang tao, sulat lang tayo ng sulat, tapos hard sell lang tayo ng hard sell ng products. But what some people do not realize is that we need to strategize. Kailangan natin ng strategy to communicate our message to our target audience. So that's what I thought that maybe I can help business grow and build their business. So ako, nag-expand na rin ako into businesses. And ako, I've met Sir Orly in a social or selling class in UP ISSI, EC. And then I realized na parang there's so much to explore. So I ventured on entrepreneurship and now, yun na nga, I also have some businesses and I am affiliated now with ProLife UK. So I'm an assistant unit manager and I use social media to sell. I use social media to communicate to my partners, to my possible clients, or what we say prospects, diba, sa business or marketing. Ayan. And then moving on, here's one thing I'd also like to share in terms of social selling. Kasi you can't sell anything if you can't tell anything. So you really have to know what your story is. You have to know your story brand. So to entrepreneurs who are listening right now, to small business owners, you have to know kung ano man yung gusto nyong sabihin at kung paano siya sasabihin. You know, it's not just about saying, ito yung mga discount na makukuha mo, but you have to touch kung ano man yung problema ng iyong possible customers and then you solve them. You know, so yun naman talaga ang pinaka-importante doon when it comes to businesses. You know the audience pain points and then you address them with your solution that is very memorable and credible ka rin dun sa area na yon. Okay, and then the next thing that I have prepared, so moving on, I'd like to share with you, kasi marami nagtatanong, ano ba yung social selling? So social selling is modern relationship building. Because social selling kasi, it's social media. It's not just posting what you want, yung mga OOTD mo, yung mga milk tea, yung mga samgyup, although it's really fun, but it must connect to your bigger message. So it's the practice of using your brand's social media channels to connect with your prospects. So kapag may profile kayo sa social media, you're not just out there to say, hey, here's what I'm doing now. But ano ba yung end goal mo as a business owner? So for example, di ba, I am the moderator, I'm the owner of Gen Hustle. I don't just post there for the sake of posting, for the sake of having content, but I post with value. And when you say value, we give tips to our audience na feeling namin will be useful to them. And for me, my audience, it's about people who'd like to learn more about personal finance, about adulting tips. That's my audience. That's what I know. So yung importante malaman nyo yun, no? Na parang how do you build your relationship to your audience through social media? Because social selling, it's selling through social media. And when we say selling, it's not just selling right away, Parang you just also have to build your relationship na parang kailangan maging first in mind ka ng tao. Pag sinabing, okay, insurance or financial planning, dapat Gen Hustle yun. Or kung pag sinabing milk tea, kung ano man yung negosyo nyo, or events, katulad ng X-Link, 'di ba? So kailangan una nilang ma-realize pag virtual events, we have to go to these people because I am aware of what they're doing through their social selling techniques or strategies. So I can share information that can guide you kung ano yung social selling. Yes, so we move on to the next slide. Kung ano yung social selling. Yon. So social selling, it's actually the process of developing trust, rapport, and relationship with the prospect. Because it's so easy to see a lot of people promoting their business through social media. So you trust this person. So you are not just selling something, but you are building a relationship with that person para pagkatiwalaan ka niya to do the transaction with you. And sometimes, parang ang end goal natin, hindi lang isang beses magkaroon ng transaction, but another one and another one para magkaroon ng retention or loyalty, di ba? So, in terms of online, di ba, it usually happens through tech platforms, LinkedIn. Yes, believe me, in LinkedIn, akala ng iba, it's just a site to brag your achievements, your work achievements. Hindi lang po yun. So you can use that platform to connect and to network with fellow professionals, with fellow business owners, or people who you would like to work with in the future. So pwedeng ganon. So this is what we have here, yung ating illustration. So para siyang pyramid, it's the funnel, the social seller. So you have to build the trust first. So that is the foundation, di ba? So, and then we get to the rapport. Yes, thank you for that. And then may tech. So yung trust, you have to build that. Ano siya kailangan na maging credible doon sa niche mo, dun sa area mo. And it doesn't happen overnight, unfortunately, for people who are used to social media, di ba? Para mga social media fame. Yeah, ilang days pa lang, marami ng likes. But for you to have a career in any industry, people must trust you. And you must always deliver. And then you create rapport with your audience or your prospects. And how do you do that in social media? So you provide them with content na regularly nilang makikita. So for example, 'di ba, parang you give tips, you give value. To some, parang uy, free ka nagpapabigay ng tips, but it's not actually just, for the sake of giving free, pero you're adding value para balik sila ng balik sa site mo para ma-realize nila na, hey, I'm learning something from this site. This is a good site. Marami akong matututunan dito about personal finances or about events planning. So, ganun siya. And of course, involved talaga ang tech. And I know that a lot of people are probably adjusting right now, still adjusting right now because hindi naman talaga tayo sanay na mag-sell online. But that's the way the future is going, na online din talaga kadalasan. Because if you're not online, it's as if you're not existing. Because when people want to learn about you or your product, they go online and search about you. And if you're not there, so you're losing a lot of prospects. Kasi wala kang online presence or wala kang or less lang ang yung online engagement. Okay? And then here I'm gonna show you some model as we move on. So meron tayong tinatawag na old sales model or probably the traditional sales model, and we have the new sales model. So sa sales traditional na model, di ba, we have the cold calls, sales demos, qualify leads, and these days, physical kind of selling, syempre, mahirap yan ngayon dahil pandemic because of social distancing. Like demos, we can't do that. We can't put up virtual events. We can't be physically networking with each other through social gatherings. So, kailangan i-rethink natin yung model natin as we approach a lot of challenges during this time. So, through social selling, maybe we could redefine the model a bit, and ito yung paggamit ng social network, which is yung Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, yung mga apps na ito, even Pinterest, no, to educate and to engage people. So how do we educate? Yun nga, we post content, and then we provide thought leadership. That means kung may expertise ka about a particular industry or a particular niche, you give your opinion about it by publishing articles, or yung ma-feature ka sa mga op-ed or opinion editorial columns of different broadsheets. Pwedeng ganon. And of course, engagement. Kapag merong nag-engage sa'yo na prospect, it's important that you reply na pansinin mo sila, because these are your audience and they are using your brand, you're using your product. Diba? So, kailangan ma-feel nila na you give importance to them. Okay? So, i-rethink natin yung old sales model or traditional sales model, and what are we doing now with our businesses para maka-catch up tayo dun sa bagong klase ng consumers, sa bagong klase ng technology, and bagong klase ng selling, which is, yun nga, right now, it's social selling. And then the next one that I'm gonna show you is moving on. Itong the core of your social selling cycle relies in your company's customer-centric strategy. We all know naman, siguro pag matagal na rin tayo sa business, di ba, it's always customer-centric. But when it comes to social selling, we have to consider yung how do we produce the content. So when we say content, it's not just about text, the copy, but it's the overall look of the brand. So for example, yung mga visuals mo, the kind of graphics that you produce, the kind of art cards, the kind of posters. So think about it. How does it reflect in your brand? Yung ganong klaseng mga posters or social media cards na tinatawag, you have to plan your content or in your content generation strategy or content production strategy. And the next thing, pag na-schedule mo na yung content mo, for example, in my page in Gen Hustle, so we have brand color, so we have the fonts that we use. So nasa brand kit namin yon. So everything, it's the visuals, and also we have core message, alam namin yon. And then what we do is we post them online, and then if we see that yung number 2, yung social interaction engagement is very high, we produce the same kind of content. So for example, ang ginagawa namin, yung mga quotable quotes na inspirational quotes na to some it's very very normal, very simple, pero actually it inspires a lot of people. So for me, it works. In our brand, it works. So we keep on doing them because we recognize that people like it, they respond to it. And then yun na, yung sales conversions, because people are aware of your brand and that you engage with them when they like your post, when they share your post, napapadalas na sila sa page mo. And of course, we have these Facebook algorithms, right? So the more that they interact with you, the more na naglaland sila sa page mo, and their friends also, kasi may maganon tayong algorithm online. So nagkakaroon ng ng engagements, and then until sales conversions. Ako personally, I just have to share na sometimes I don't approach people anymore when it comes to financial planning or investments, because people come to me, and a lot of that has to do with Gen Hustle, with my page. And I don't regret parang having to work a lot at first for the first few months, because it's not really a 1 day thing or a 2 day or 2 weeks, 1 month. Magugulat ka na lang, people are just aware of your brand, and they're looking for you to help them. So, yun na nangyayari yung conversion. So,
Okay, looks like we're losing Miss Florence's connection again. Miss Florence, you still there? Okay, we'll just wait for Miss Florence to get back to us, ano? Pero for the meantime, we'll proceed with Miss Florence's connection once she gets back, and we'll just wait for Miss Florence to get back now. Right. So yeah, if you have any questions about what Miss Florence is telling with to us,
yes,
you
and
can.
then
Yes,
the
yes, Miss
next
Florence, are you
one,
back?
yes, me.
Yes, yes, yeah, we're back.
Yeah, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, yes, all clear.
Yes, yes.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
It
Ayun,
happens.
yung
All
ating
right.
internet. Thank you, Jay,
Okay.
for all the understanding.
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay, so as I was saying, yun, so it's very important for you to consider about your content, your interaction with your prospects or with your customers, in order for you to convert them into customers. Kasi importante talaga na yung presence nyo sa social media is very strategized. So when we say strategize or your strategies, alam mo kung saan papunta. Hindi lang yung post ka ng post. So for example, yung mga Google Forms, yung mga links na pinopost mo, it will all lead to a landing page where people are invited to buy or maybe to download something para maengganyo sila na bumalik ulit sa page nyo, at or para malaman pa ang ibang importante detalye sa mga produktong ino-offer mo. At the same time, that will convince them or encourage them to buy from you or to seek for your services. And then this is the next one that I'm gonna show you. Yeah. So itong next natin na slide, it's about the social consumer prospect. So I am saying this and I'm sharing this to you as I have found this during my research, is that 89% of people say providing content via social media is acceptable. So, meaning to say, if you're not on social media, diba, you're losing this kind of people na who go to social media to access all this information that they need. And then 85% of people utilize social networks for business. So yung social networks na akala natin dati ay for leisure lang or for posting our travel pics, our hashtag food porn, and all that, hindi lang siya pang social media lang, as in for networking with friends or relatives para updated sila sa buhay mo, but there are a lot of people looking at your profile, lalo na kapag naka-public profile ka, or in my case, naka-page kami, naka-Facebook page. So, people will check your Facebook page, your social media. So you have to be careful then about what you're posting. Kasi if it's not representing your brand, or people might think na parang, bakit ito yung pinopost niya, ito yung pinopromote niya. So, kailangan maramdaman ng tao na authentic ka, na sincere ka rin sa pinopromote mo, whether it's an advocacy or it's a retail product. Okay, and then 73% have engaged with a vendor on social media. So meaning to say, yung mga transactions natin, no, hindi lang siya limited to referrals, yung mga, uy, i-refer mo ko sa kilala mo na ganito. Sometimes, kapag we have free time, what we do is we check FB, LinkedIn, and maybe get some ideas from there. Tapos biglang may maganda palang services or may magandang products, then we buy it. So importante talaga na ma-establish mo yung presence mo on social media, and of course, yung hashtags mo. Very important pala yan. Kami, we use Gen Hustle PH. So, kailangan, pag sinearch ng tao yung hashtag na yon, all the information about you, all the crucial details that you want people to know. Kasi pag hindi nasagot ng mga post mo yan or wala silang makitang mga kasagutan sa mga tanong nila, sa mga post nyo or sa website mo, most probably you will lose them. So kailangan easily accessible yung mga information, 'di ba? So parang pag mga yung iba, 'di ba, may mga FAQ. So importante din 'yun, no, para mag-proceed yung tao dun sa transaction kasi alam nila na, oh, okay, everything has been laid out. I know what to do. I can now decide, 'di ba? So dapat you will be helpful in such a way to your customers that you will make it easier for them to decide and decide now, to create a sense of urgency. And then 59% are influenced by at least one social network when purchasing. Ako, sometimes I use Instagram when I buy products na gusto ko visually makita ko kung paano siya gamitin. So, nagpo-post kami ng mga social media cards that will trigger, people to buy or not, if not buy, to think about it. Lalo na sa mga tao na hindi pa na-realize na they need the product or they need your services. So, looking at these numbers, talagang importante na ma-incorporate na natin yung strategies ng social selling natin dun sa ating business plans. Okay? And then, the next one of the slides na prepare ko rin, importante yung 6 C's natin sa social selling. So, credibility. So, again, being credible doesn't really happen in just a snap of a finger. So, sometimes it takes years for people to believe you and what you're doing. And social media sometimes has that sort of parang way for people to say that they're credible pero hindi naman pala. So be careful din. So marami ring mga ganon, no? So you have to do some proper research then about who you're transacting with, who you're trusting your money with, and of course connection. So importante, no, na on social media pwede mong itag dyan yung mga taong talagang kilala mo na, or when it comes to social selling, you tag your friends. Yun naman talagang importante, di ba? Na may ma-introduce ka man lang. And social media has really made it easier for us, no, to connect. So pwede mong i-connect through social media, pakilala mo ko sa ganito, kung kanino pwedeng kausapin about this kind of product or this kind of service. And of course, C is for content. Kasi, as I've said kanina, importante talaga how you construct your message and how you will deliver it to your audience. And conversation. So, importanteng may conversation because it doesn't have to be one way only. So, people must know about your product, about your brand, at ikaw naman magre-respond ka to their feedback para hindi nila sabihin na parang, okay, mababa yung rating, yung satisfactory rating ko dito sa customer service nito sa social media. And of course, conversions. Kasi we pay ads, Facebook ads. We pay it and then alam ko maraming business ang may budget for that. But you also have to check whether may conversion ba talagang nangyayari sa lahat ng mga ads ko, or mas okay na yung organic. So pay attention to your conversions. And of course, you have to be consistent. So for us in Gen Hustle, we post every day, almost every day. And then what we saw is that over time, kahit hindi kami nag-Facebook ads, or hindi kami nagpo-promote or nagbo-boost, we were able to gather some people to like our page kahit wala siya sa network namin. So yun lang, maging consistent. So importante yung 6 C's natin sa social selling, which is credibility, the connections that we foster, the content, conversations, conversions, and the consistency. And for my last slide, so yun lang. So my takeaway for everything that I've said is you have to establish your personal brand by adding value to what you do. Okay, so it's not just about promoting, but really knowing how to get to your audience and convince them that you are the person to go to when it comes to this particular product or service. And then, of course, be indispensable, be memorable. Okay, so kailangan ma-establish mo yun na parang ikaw yung go-to person. And be memorable, be authentic, because sa social media, pwedeng kang kumopya, di ba? But when people know you and they can feel your authenticity, hindi siya maka-fake eh. And then, of course, you listen strategically and build your relationships with the right people. So, it's important sa business, no? If we we go we go to the right people, we transact with the right people, and it's not just transactions. Eh. It's just even building relationships outside of the business. Okay, and then you keep it real. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko, and be authentic. And that's basically my presentation for today. And the last one, the last slide is I would just like to invite everybody to like my page. It's there sa screen niyo. It's Florence Rosini Manila. It's also on Instagram. Just search for my name, and my website is also there, florencerosini.com. And for Gen Hustle, if you need some services for financial planning and all, I am there. And thank you so much to everybody who attended this forum, and to PBEN for giving me this opportunity, to Sir Orly, to Miss Mitch, and to Jay that I've just met today. Thank you so much. And the internet has been losing us for quite a while, but you've stayed. So salamat po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you very much, Miss Florence Rosini of Gen Hustle PH. So, um,
Yep, I'm
earlier kasi
here.
as planned, yes, yan, good. Okay, so pasadahan na natin ng isang Q&A, no? So,
Sure.
what are the biggest challenges that you've had so far in social selling? Aside from the one that you discussed earlier.
I think, Jay, that one of the biggest challenges that we have encountered is the fact na hindi mo makikita agad yung results right away.
Mm-mm.
Because we are so used to social media na pag nag-post ka, ang dami agad likes, ang dami agad nag-share. But when you're starting a brand, starting from scratch, you're introducing something new to people. So hindi ka agad nila malalike because they don't know you. We've started this last year, September, and I must admit, medyo mababa as compared to businesses na may 1,000 likes, but because they've boosted. Pero for us, we did not boost. We just tell our friends. And what was important was the conversion. Na
Mm-mm.
yung nilalapitan ka na, you make a sale. So that is, I think, and I think a lot of people right now who are watching can relate. Yun. But you just have to keep on doing it.
Kumbaga, hustle nga, ika nga. Hustle lang.
Yes.
Okay. So,
Yes, Jay.
Okay, so for our viewers, if you have any questions, you can just key in your question and just attach the hashtag power and lightness in the comments. Baka may habol natin yan later. And for now, so we've talked about the challenges. And then, and can you share to us yung biggest success nyo so far with your Gen Hustling, ika nga, ano, if that's a proper term.
Right. I think my success for now is yun nga, hindi ko inakala na people will really just freely approach me and say, hey, can you do this? I mean, these are cold market, di ba? So parang, ito talaga, wala akong ini-expect na ganito siguro kabilis. I mean, I thought maybe after a year, or, kasi hindi naman din sila lagi nagko-comment. So magugulat ka na lang na may nagpa-private message, or yung mga kilala ko na hindi naman alam na yun din pala yung ginagawa ko right now, that I do the financial planning or financial consultancy, sila na yung lumalapit din sa akin, uy Flo, nakita ko yung post mo, ganito pala, ganyan. Kasi I thought, kasi ako hindi ako seller. I thought people will be, tawag dito, will be confused about what I was doing, or maybe alam mo yung parang ayaw ng mga tao na puro ka self-promote. But some people
Yes,
pala
yes.
need your help. So okay din na alam nila kung sino yung pwedeng ma-approach. At importante, for them, dahil kilala ka na nila eh. So yun. Yun
And
ang, for me,
I believe that
I love the feeling.
Mm. And I believe depende talaga sa target market na mo ika nga kung makakahanap ka ng mga taong susunod sa'yo. Kumbaga, kasi before I believe before we become thought leaders, we will be thought followers, no?
Yes, I agree. Kasi kailangan din talagang malaman mo kung sino yung mga dapat mong itap, paano sila matatap. In my case, yung ngayong pandemic, people are worried about their future. So we are there, yun nga, to secure their future, to protect their family. So yun yung mga importante na malaman nila. At yun ang why they go to me, why they seek for my help.
I see. So, ika nga, that is your power, and you just do it light, ano? You just you just do it na parang you're at home most of the time, and then you're still sharing stuff online. These days, in this age talaga, things have changed. Hindi ka na yung maglulupa ka para mamimigay ka ng flyers. Flyers were the thing of the past nowadays, tama?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are still using that. Wala namang offense sa mga taong gumagawa pa rin ng ganun. Kung yun ang tingin nilang effective sa business nila or dun sa location nila. Pero in my case, talagang mas cost efficient pa yung social media. In a way, because when you share, you have a lot of people na within your reach. Lalo na kapag marami kang friends, di ba?
I see. Last question, Miss Florence. How did technology help you in building your business?
Yeah, for me, the technology helped me build my business because the people whom I couldn't reach before, like yung mga nasa probinsya, so I can tap them now, or yung mga OFW, merong ganong mga cases surprisingly. So parang, wow, I can talk to these people rin pala. I can communicate with them via Zoom or Google Meet, yung mga ganong video conferencing. So that really, technology really made everything easier for us kasi you can reach a lot of people. And then when it comes to payments, so meron ka ng ano, 'di ba, GCash, 'di ba? Meron ka ng mga
Yes,
online
yes.
payment, 'di ba?
Mhm.
So sa mga taong takot lumabas, ako, I have people na parang who have comorbidities or mga senior citizens. I highly advise them na kung maaari po, wag na kayong pumunta ng bangko, baka pwede pong mag-online banking kayo para sa safety niyo na rin at sa mga taong kasama niyo sa bahay. So, imagine what technology has brought us with all these convenience.
Hindi rin natin malalaman na these cashless payments, these cashless, ngayon, almost paperless na nga eh. We're transitioning to paperless documentation and all. So, yeah, really, I really
That's true.
enjoyed your talk on social selling, and we appreciate
Thank
you
you.
having your time with us. So, once again, thank you very much, Miss Florence Rosini of Gen Hustle PH. We'll just give you a token of appreciation later on, courtesy of the Philippine Business and Entrepreneurs Network and Huawei
Thank you.
Philippines.